Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we got some news on what's going on in Ensenada. We have Virgin Voyages looking to raise some money. And we have a couple questions that people have gotten to me now that I didn't even think about. But it's kind of like role reversal from the beginning of the pandemic to now the end of the pandemic. And I'll explain in a minute. Our first story is Virgin Voyages, who have currently launched 2 ships out there right now, getting ready to launch their 3rd. Well, they've just raised some more capital money, and they want this money to help them launch 2 more ships as well as expand their marketplace to more locations. So they're looking for growth in this cruise line. They raised $550 million and they're hoping to expand more into the Caribbean and then into Australia as well. So you could be seeing some Virgin ships in the not too distant future heading out to Australia, and they might be more commonplace as we get going. Now, Ensenada, we're having all that violence that was going on. Well, the military moved in, the National Guard moved in, the police moved in, and now the cruise ships have moved back in. It's gone quiet again. There's been no disruption the last couple days. So good news there. The violence was short-lived and dropped down really quickly, and the cruise ships have now returned to the cruise port. I'm sure the cruise lines are keeping an eye on it, and if you're really nervous about the situation, you still have the option to just stay on the ship if you wish. However, they don't normally head there if there's any chance of anything erupting at the moment. But again, you never know. Anywhere in the world, something can happen. But good news, cruise lines are heading back. It's calmed down. That's always a good thing. Less violence is always a good thing. Speaking of good things, the cruise lines right now are jumping for joy in a way because their bookings have jumped huge. Especially, for instance, Carnival Cruise Line, who just recently announced that they're welcoming back unvaccinated guests. Well, immediately after doing that, they skyrocketed in bookings. It just swamped their booking agents and travel agents left and right for people looking to jump on cruises who are unvaccinated. So that's a big market that has been not sailing that they're looking to get back into. But it does lead me to another question that I've had quite a few people actually message me about with some concerns. And let me explain that in a minute. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you want to keep up to date with all things cruising, like what just happened in Ensenada, if you had anybody on the Carnival Radiance when you were sailing there, you might have been worried that something was going on, but then if you watch the video, you would find out they didn't go to that port and everything is okay. And it keeps you up to date with all the protocols that are changing left and right, and which ships and which destinations that you still have to worry about. And all it costs is a click of the button to hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything other than that reaching over and going boom. And that's it. And again, I really do appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. And I thank everybody who's subscribed already and those about to do so right now. Okay, now. All right, enough of that. People have been messaging me and saying, you know what? The cruise lines have now, some of them have gone to basically they're going to welcome everybody back, whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated. And while some of them say they're going to try and hold it to around the 80% mark, others are just saying, come on back. You don't need an exemption anymore, just come on back. And I've had some people call out, and especially one person who is very immune compromised and everything, and very nervous about sailing to begin with. And they said, now I booked a cruise, I paid for the cruise, it's within the 90 days that I had to pay it off, and now they make this big announcement that they're bringing on unvaccinated, and I'm not sure how many they're going to bring on, and I'm nervous about going on. I know I can catch it from anybody, but I feel, less likely to catch it severe anything from somebody who's been vaccinated, and that's something that, you know, who knows, that's what they think, that's what they feel. I'm not going to criticize them. I'm not going to, you know, the only thing that I could explain is that the unvaccinated people going on will still need to test before going on board, but they have expanded that testing to 3 days again, which, you know, makes this person more nervous as well. Now, it's not about who should cruise, who shouldn't cruise. That's not my question out there for everybody. My question is, at the beginning of the pandemic, when people were unvaccinated and they said you had to be vaccinated to get on board, they said, okay, I don't want to cruise. Even if the cruise is paid off, you were able to get a refund. You were able to get your money back. However, right now, if you are vaccinated and you don't want to go on a cruise because now they're welcoming back more, or you feel more nervous, should you get your money back? Should you be allowed to at least get future cruise credits? I don't even think this person was I think this person was even within the 90 days of their cruise, which means they can't even use the cruise with confidence or anything like that. I suggested to them to give the cruise line a call. Maybe you can get future cruise credits. Talk to them about your concern, but really, they don't really have a leg to stand on as far as demanding money back, because in your cruise contract, it says that, you know, the protocols could change at any time. And people will say, well, yeah, it's not any more dangerous, and I know that's what people are going to say, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a person's feelings of security when they're sailing. They don't feel secure. It's their right to not feel secure. Just like if you're unvaccinated, you didn't feel secure in getting a vaccine. I'm not complaining about you not doing it. Why should we complain about this person feeling just nervous about going on it? So let's clear that up right away. Let's not pick on that. But say 2 months down the road, there's a huge outbreak again, and all of a sudden they put back in the vaccine mandate, and you're unvaccinated. Should you be allowed to get cash refund? I think so. Or are they going to force you to take FCCs because you've already paid your cruise? I don't know the answer to it, but I kind of feel that the cruise line should be open to this. If you change a policy as big as vaccination status during a pandemic, people on both sides should have the option to opt out. I mean, I just announced Carnival Cruise Line is way, way up in bookings since they announced this off. So would it really hurt them to have a few people who are nervous to sail to give them their money back? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's a fair thing to do. It's fair to bring people on board so everyone can decide, all right, I'm vaccinated. Do I want to sail with an unvaccinated person? Sure. Doesn't make a difference to me. I feel secure because I'm vaccinated. And away you go. It should be everyone's choice. Everyone makes their own decision. But they changed this policy after the person had already booked. And so I think they owe it to those people to allow them to opt out of the cruise lines. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think that's fair? Just because they don't want to go, don't get into the whole vaccine or non-vaccine and all that shit. Do you think it would be fair that they should be allowed to get a refund or a future cruise credit at least until they feel more secure to cruise? I perfectly think that's a reasonable request. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.